Oh, well, hello there again, friends and family. Glad you could stop on in tonight. And I got a surprise for you. I'm going to be making my meatloaf tonight. Well, in fact, call it my magic meatloaf. Let me bring you on over here and show you what you will need to put this fabulous magic meatloaf together for you and your family. Come on over. Okay, y'all. As I said, you're going to need a few things. What we've got here is we've got 2 pounds of ground chuck. That's 80% lean, 20% fat. That right there. Then what we've got is we've also got 2 stalks of celery. Now here's a tip. If your celery gets a little bit limp while it's sitting in the fridge before you use it, put it in a glass of cold water for a little while before. It'll just perk right on up. You're also going to need 4 cloves of garlic. Well, 2 to 4, depends on your taste. You're going to need a small onion. You can use a white onion, a yellow onion, or you can even use a Vidalia if you want. You're going to need some Worcestershire sauce. Boy, I have a problem saying that. And some ground black pepper. And another ingredient right here. Poultry seasoning. It's a must-have. And of course some ketchup. Then we're going to need just some yellow mustard. You can use that brown mustard if you like. I just prefer the basic yellow mustard. Then you're going to need some honey. Now if you have it, use raw honey. I didn't have any at the store the last time I went out, so I'm just using clover honey. And you're going to need a sleeve of salted saltines. But there's one more ingredient. And just like the poultry seasoning, this final ingredient is what puts the magic in the meatloaf. Let me get it for you over here. Here it is right here. Yep, right there. Duke's mayonnaise. You're going to need it. Now, you can use your favorite mayonnaise, but this is the deep south. We're just going to have to use Duke's. And y'all are going to have to get over it. And that's pretty much all the ingredients you're going to need to put this together. Now what I'm going to do, while y'all take a seat there in the living room or dining room, or some of you want to help me, I'm going to go ahead and get this celery, onion, and garlic all chopped up and ready. And then we'll come on back and we'll get to putting this together. Thank you for helping me get everything chopped up, Trixie. That was a big help. Thank you. What? I do appreciate you helping. Well, y'all, here we are. We're back. And we've got everything chopped on up. As you saw, Trixie gave me a hand. And we've just done a fine chop of those celery stalks. And a fine chop of the onions. And we minced up that garlic. Got that all done. Got her there ready to go. What we also did is I got those crackers crushed up. And I don't know how you'd do it, but being a man, I use this thing right here. Not sure what it is. I use it to smash up my potatoes too. But whatever. Works fine. And you're going to want, once you're done, approximately about 1 cup of finely crushed saltine crackers. So, I did make one omission when I was telling you the ingredients, and I left out the 2 eggs. But we'll be adding them in as we put this all together. So now that we've got everything ready to mix on in with that there ground chuck, let's get started here. So y'all, what we're going to start with, of course, is the meat. We're going to get that on in this nice big stainless steel bowl we got here. Just open it on up. We're going to plop it on in there. Get that in there. That's 1 pound. Now we got another pound. And we got that plopped off in there. And we're just gonna break it up a little bit with our hands. Yes, I got my hands all cleaned up after I was chopping up all those veggies. Just break it up really, really good. Which is real easy when you're using a 80-20 mix. It's not as greasy when you're using that 73-27 hamburger mix. Of course, I've used it before. So we got that pretty much broken up in the bowl there. And let me get my hands a little quick scrub, and we'll start adding in those other ingredients. So I'm back, and I'm just going to take these crushed cracker crumbs, and I'm just going to put them all over the top there, just like that. Get rid of that bowl. Then we're going to take the celery and we're going to distribute it sort of evenly on the top of it as well. Try to do that so when I start mixing this up, everything sort of gets incorporated throughout the mix. Next, we'll go ahead and get these onions put in. There we go. And now the garlic. And there we have it. So the first thing I'm going to add to this, just going down my written recipe that I've made, back in 1994, I'm going to add in a half a teaspoon of black ground pepper. Now, like with all ingredients, you can add as much or as little as you want. And then what we're going to be adding is the poultry seasoning. And we're going to be adding half a teaspoon a bit too. Ooh, I just love the smell of it. Sprinkle it on in there evenly as we can. Then we're gonna drop in a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Give it some flavor here. Well, our oven's preheated, and that's preheated to 350 degrees, folks. So the oven is all ready to go. So, got the Worcestershire sauce on in there. Now, we're gonna put in the mustard. And that'll be 2 tablespoons. There we go. Next, we're going to add in 1/4 cup of good old ketchup. Just like that. Give it that tomato flavor. And we got to get that Duke's in there. 1/2 cup of that Duke's. Well, that's all we had left was 1/2 cup. As long as I got enough, I'm good to go. There we go. And the final ingredient is going to be those 2 eggs that I forgot to tell y'all about when we were going over the ingredients. Give them a quick crack over in this little small bowl. And give them a quick stir here. with our old fork. You know, just like when you're making scrambled eggs. And we're just going to pour that right over the top of all the other ingredients. So y'all got it all in there. Now there's only one thing to do. Now you can put on a pair of kitchen gloves if you like, or you can just do like I'm about to do. Use what God gave you, your hands. And I just take it and I just start incorporating it in. Now, you're not going to want to mix it any more than what you have to make sure everything gets nice and distributed, which sometimes can be quite a chore. But we don't want any of this to not have all the goodness in it. I can tell you, Trixie standing right beside me. She knows this is some good stuff. And as you can tell, it's time to give those paws another wash down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to transfer this meatloaf mix into our greased baking dish. And we almost missed it. And what we're going to do is we're going to form it in to a nice loaf. You know, nothing like getting to play with your meat. Well, I mean, you can make it as flat as you want, or however you want it. Now, if you want to put a wire rack under yours to keep it sitting above the grease, you can do that too. But what I found when you use this 80-20, there's not a lot of grease to be had. So there we have it right there. It's ready to go in the oven. So now, I'm going to open up that oven, because it's been preheated. And we're just going to take it uncovered, sit it on the middle rack, 350, and we're going to come back in an hour and check it, and see what the internal temperature is. And at that time, we're going to want the internal temperature to be about 150, because we've got to put the topping on. Once I make up the topping, which is very simple, it's just 2 ingredients, and those 2 are ketchup and honey. We'll bring you back on into the kitchen and show you how we do it. Get it on the meatloaf, and we're going to be sticking it back in that oven for an additional anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes based on the internal temperature, because we want, when it's done, an internal temperature of 165 degrees. So I'll bring you back and we're ready to start that process. So y'all, we've got to get that topping or glaze made up here real quick. And I don't normally measure. I mean, I say a 1/4 cup of ketchup, But that depends a lot on what type of meatloaf you got shaped. I mean, if you make it real high, thinner, and shorter, it might not need as much. And I don't really measure, but we'll say about 1/4 to 1/3 cup ketchup. Don't take a lot. And then on the honey, I eyeball it. What looks like about a tablespoon there. Okay? And then all I do, I take one of these magic mixers, aka a fork, and I just give it a quick stir. That's all there is to it. It's just that simple. And when that meatloaf gets on out of there, it's got about another 20 minutes, and it'll been in there an hour. We'll bring it out and check it. See if we're up to about 150. If not, we'll put it back in for a little bit longer. I like to have it about 150 before I put the topping on. And then I let it go based on my oven for another 15-20 minutes. And it's right where I want it, at the 165. Or it is normally. Now that I'm actually videoing this, you just never know. There we have it. Full of tomato taste and sweetness. Well, y'all, I hear the oven, don't you? Let's get that meatloaf out and take a look at it, see what the temperature is. Been in there an hour. Woo. Okay, y'all. Got it right there. And got us a little crack there. That's okay. Don't have to be perfect, just has to be tasty. And now, using my old school meat thermometer, just poke it on in there and see what the temperature is. Let me bring you over here and show you. I think y'all can see it there. It's just a little past 130 and climbing. So we're going to have to set it on back in that oven for, I think, probably another 20 minutes. And we'll pull it back on out then. And that almost made 140. We're going to stick it on back in there for about another 15 minutes. Got the timer set, and we'll come back. Okay, that timer's going off again. Been another 15 minutes. Turn it off, get that meatloaf out. Check the temperature there. Woo. Bring it over here where y'all can see it. Right there. And we're going to give it another check on the temperature. Let me bring y'all over. Yep, you can see it's approaching 150. So we're going to go ahead and get that glaze on right now. Now, like I told y'all, I don't like a lot of this glaze on the meatloaf. Kids used to like it. Me, not so much. But it makes it look a little festive. And we're going to get this stuck back on in that oven for about another 15 minutes. And it's going to be a done deal. Okay, that's the final time. Let's get her out and take a look at it. I'll bring you over here. You can take a little bit better look at it. There it is. You can see there's not all that much grease in the pan. Now I'll go ahead and get the grease out while the meatloaf is resting, which is very important. Before you cut into this thing, you need to let your meatloaf rest about 15-20 minutes. That way it just won't all fall apart on you. And it does allow the juices to redistribute through the loaf itself. So once it gets cooled on down, I'll go ahead and bring y'all back and we'll slice off a piece, give it a taste test. So we went ahead and let that meatloaf rest for about 20 minutes. And while it was resting, we went ahead, took a spoon and tilted up our baking dish there and got rid of the grease. Now back in the day, I can remember my grandparents and great-grandparents, they'd save that. They made some kind of gravy out of it. I was thinking it was called red-eye gravy or something. I might be wrong, but they made some kind of gravy. I don't. I go ahead and toss it. But what I want to do now, go ahead and cut a slice of this off to see what it tastes like. I'm getting awful hungry. It's nearly 9 o'clock at night. Now I still got to put my potatoes together and my peas before I can sit down and have my full dinner. But rather than have y'all wait on all that, let's cut a piece off and give it a taste test. Let me see if I can get a piece of this off. Maybe this little end piece right here. Or, what some people do is call it the heel. And we got it right there. Go ahead and get me a fork. Let me bring you on down here so you can take a look at it. And here we have it. And there we have it, right there. And let's give ourselves a little cut right there. Let me take a look at it. Now, I'm going to see if it came out good. It looks nice and moist. Don't y'all think? Let's see how it tastes. So folks, let's give it a little taste. That is tasty. And very flavorful. I sure do like it. It's moist. A lot of flavor to it. Something I'm going to like to do with it. I don't want eating it for dinner tonight. And, you know, having it for dinner some other nights, maybe lunch. One thing I like to do with meatloaf is make meatloaf sandwiches. I truly do love them. So y'all, I do hope you'll try it one day. And if you do, let me know how you liked it. And as always, until we see y'all on the next video, y'all take care out there. Stay safe wherever you are. And God bless each and every one of you. Goodbye for now. Oh man, that come out really good. Not that I didn't doubt it.